This question is going to go over some area formulas of a circle. Area formula of a circle is pi r squared. I'm going to write that down right here. A equals pi r squared. We're going to use that formula to calculate area. What is r? R is the radius. The radius of a circle is the distance from the center of the circle to the outside edge. If you're given the diameter, which is the total distance across the circle, we're going to want to cut that in half. So the radius is going to be 16 divided by 2, which is going to be 8. So diameter of 16 inches, radius of 8. Got to know that. What's the area of the circle? We don't want to use 3.14 in practice. We've rounded pi in past questions, but use the pi button. You can get the pi button from most calculators, usually right there. 3.14159 is more decimals out, or you can type pi. I type pi in decimals. So I'm going to do pi. I'm going to times it by 8. Then I'm going to square just the 8, not the pi. So that approximate area to 2 decimal places would be 201.06. Now we can write the area in 2 different ways. One of them is going to be without typing pi in your calculator. So you could say, all right, well, what is 8 squared? 8 squared is 64. So you could just say 64 pi, or approximately 201.06. And since our units are in inches, it would be in inches squared. So let's step it up again. Now I want to do a portion of that circle. So what would be the area of a 45-degree sector? What's a sector? Sector is a portion of a circle like a slice of pizza, a slice of pie. It's a wedge, has a central angle, and it's formed by 2 radii, 2 radiuses, 2 radii. So that is usually going to be given to you as a degree. So we're going to take that degree. We got to figure out how many of those are in a circle. So if you think about a circle all the way around has how many degrees? 360 degrees. You can look that up, but one complete revolution is 360 degrees. So let's break that up. How many of those 45-degree wedges make up 360? Well, let's figure that out. That's if I take 360 and I divide it by 45, I'm going to get 8 of those, right? So this is going to be roughly 1/8 of a circle, right? I can do like 2 of them make 90 degrees. That's a right angle. 4 of them make a semicircle. That's half a circle. So another 4 are going to make a complete circle. So this right here is 1/8. 45 degrees is 1/8 of a circle. So let's modify it. We have done the area of that circle is pi times the radius squared. The radius is 8, since the diameter is 16. So if I know that the area of the full circle is pi times 8 squared, then the area of the 45-degree sector, just the 45-degree sector, is going to be 1/8 of that. Does that make sense? So 45, 1/8 of a circle. So we can write that in terms of pi and as a decimal. So what I would do is you can do 1 divided by 8, and then you could multiply that by pi, pi, parentheses, 8 squared. It just so happens our radius is 8. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be whatever that number is. But 1/8 times pi times 8 squared is approximately 25.13. Or if you remember our form, if we plugged in pi times 8 squared, 201.06, if we divided that by 8, that's going to get you 25.13. So it's approximately 25.13. And that's going to be in inches squared again. And we could write that in terms of pi. If we did that without typing the pi in, it would just be 1/8 multiplied by 8 squared, which is 8. So this is really just 8 times pi. So in terms of pi, it'd be 8 pi. 8 times pi is approximately 8 times 3.14, which is, again, 25.13. So let's kind of formalize this, because not all degrees are going to be a nice, evenly divided portion of a circle. Sometimes it's going to be a different degree, like a more odd number degree, or a degree that's not easily divisible by 360. And we got to figure out what to do with that. So what we'll do is we're going to generalize this using a formula where we take the angle and we divide it over 360 and then multiply it by pi r squared. So you know your formula is pi r squared. Whatever your angle is, usually it's marked by this symbol. This symbol is called theta, but it just stands for angles and circles typically. So it's that number divided by 360 times the area of the circle, which is pi r squared. So let's think about it in terms of our previous problem, right? I use 1/8, but what is 45 out of 360? That's 0.125. Fraction bar tells me that's 1/8. So we can just generalize it by saying the degree out of 360 multiplied by pi r squared. That makes it a little bit easier. So let's do a last part of this example. What's the area of the unshaded region? So if I want the unshaded region, I want everything but that 45 degrees. Well, what's left over from that? Think about what's left over. The whole thing is 360. So if I take 360 and I subtract that tiny 45 degree portion of it, then that's going to give me what's left over in here, okay? So 360 minus 45, that's going to be 315, I believe. So I'm going to use that degree, and I'm going to put it right in the formula. So the formula is the degree over 360 multiplied by pi r squared. So we're going to put 315 over 360 times pi times, and our radius is 8 still in this example, so times pi times 8 squared. See if you can calculate that. And again, you just type pi or hit the pi button. I don't like using 3.14 because I think it rounds a little bit too much. So that area is going to be 176.487, or about 0.49, which should make sense because the total area is about 201. This area here is about 25, so you'd want it to be closer to 201 than 25, right? So it's going to be about 176.487, so I'll round it to 49 inches squared. And that's how you do that formula.